Hello students, I am Kinjal Parmar. Welcome back to the video lecture series of microprocessor and microcontroller. Today we will discuss AVR architecture. So let's start with what is AVR. So this AVR is basically a microcontroller. AVR is an 8-bit RISC single chip microcontroller with Harvard architecture that comes with some standard features such as on-chip program ROM, data RAM, data EEPROM timers and IO ports. This AVR is a basically 8-bit reduced instruction set computer microcontroller. This is basically a single chip microcontroller with Harvard architecture that comes with some standard features such as on-chip program ROM, that means memory to store a program, then data RAM, that means memory to store data, then data EEPROM timers and IO ports. Some AVR have some additional features like ADC, PWM, different kinds of serial interface such as a USART, SPI, I2C, CAN, USB and so on. So various AVR microcontroller have various kinds of on-chip units. Here we have a standard AVR microcontroller architecture. Here we have a first of all processor that means CPU, then program ROM, then RAM, EEPROM timers, then to operate this processor here there is an oscillator, then interrupt unit, input output ports, and to connect some additional features we have other peripherals depending on which version of microcontroller we are going to use. Okay, so here we have a various unit. Basically this AVR microcontroller is based on Harvard architecture, that means program memory and data memory, that means to store program and to store data we have a different kinds of memory. To store program we have a program ROM, and to store data we have a RAM, and here we have a varieties of interrupt units, ports and timers and other peripherals. These all are connected with processor to perform a processing task, and this processor is basically operated and work in a synchronized manner by means of this oscillator. If we want to interface with other functional units, so we have a bus that means a group of wires. So using this group of wires we can interface any of the functional unit through this bus. Here we have a varieties of bus like address bus, data bus and control bus. This address bus is basically to send address, data bus is basically for data, and control bus is for basically to control varieties of functional unit for that working. Okay, so here we have a various kinds of functional unit. So let's discuss all the functional units one by one. So here we have a first functional unit is AVR microcontroller program ROM. In a microcontroller, the ROM is used to store programs, and for that reason it is called program or code ROM. ROM that means read only memory, and to store programs here we have a program ROM. This AVR have basically a megabytes of program ROM space. Not all family members come with that much ROM installed, so the program ROM size can vary from 1K to 256K at the time of this writing depending on the family members. So ROM has been different kinds of size depending on which AVR controller we are used. So this AVR programmable ROM was one of the first microcontroller to use on-chip flash memory for program storage. The flash memory is ideal for fast development because flash memory can be erased in a seconds compared to the 20 minutes or more needed for the UV EEPROM. So flash memory is basically used in a AVR microcontroller as a program ROM. Then next we have a AVR microcontroller data RAM in a AVR architecture. While ROM is used to store the program, the RAM space is used for data storage. So RAM is used for data storage. This AVR has a maximum of 64K byte of data RAM space, and not all the family members come with that much RAM. So the data RAM space can be divided in a 3 components. For example, we have 3 components, and this 3 component basically design a data RAM. So in a data RAM we have a general purpose resistor basically to store the data. General purpose is basically for a varieties of operations. We have this general purpose resistor, then IO memory, input output memory, and internal SRAM. So this all 3 component makes data RAM. So general purpose resistor, IO memory, and internal RAM. This AVR microcontroller has then EEPROM. Every member of the AVR microcontroller has some amount of on-chip EEPROM. EEPROM, that means electrically erasable programmable ROM. This AVR microcontroller have a small amount of EEPROM to store critical data that does not need to be changed very often. So this EEPROM store the data which are not going to be changed very frequently. Then this EEPROM memory can save stored data even when the power is cut off. So EEPROM memory can save the stored data even if the power is cut off. That's why this EEPROM is used to store critical data. Then in the AVR microcontroller, next is the AVR microcontroller IO pins. The AVR can have from 3 to 86 pins for input output connection purpose. The number of input output pins depends on the number of pins in the package itself, and the number of pins for the AVR package goes from 8 to 100 at this time. So different AVR microcontroller have different input output pins. This AVR microcontroller have some other peripherals. So most of the AVR comes with analog to digital converter, then timers, then USART, that means universal synchronous asynchronous receiver transmitter. This USART is basically used for serial transmissions. So various AVR have on-chip USART, ADC, and timers as a standard peripherals. This AVR can have up to 6 timers besides the watchdog timers. AVR microcontroller have up to 6 timers. Then most of the AVR family members come with I2C and SPI bus. Some of them have USB and CAN facilities. So different AVR microcontroller have different kinds of additional features in form of this other peripherals. This AVR microcontroller has then next general purpose resistor in AVR. Basically this general purpose resistor is a part of data RAM. Okay, so this part of data RAM in which we have a general purpose resistor. This AVR microcontroller have many resistors for arithmetic and logic operations. So to perform varieties of arithmetic and logical operations, we have this general purpose resistor in AVR. This in a CPU, resistors are used to store information temporarily. In a processor, we have a resistor, but that resistor store the information temporarily. That information could be a byte of data to be processed or an address pointing to the data to be fetched. So the data of processor can either be data or can be address. So this general purpose register is basically a vast majority of AVR registers in form of 8-bit register. So in the AVR there is only one data type, that is 8-bit. In a processor there is some different kinds of data type register. For example, 8-bit register, 16-bit register, but in a AVR there is only one type of register, that is 8-bit register. In a AVR with an 8-bit data type, any data larger than 8-bit must be broken into 8-bit chunks before it is processed. For example, if we want to process 16-bit data, so that 16-bit data can be divided, or says can be broken into 8-bit chunks, and then it will be processed. So here we have this kinds of basic diagram for general purpose register. Here we have a D0, D1, D2, D3 up to D7. Here we have a total 8 bits in a general purpose register, and in a AVR there is a 32 general purpose register. So in AVR there are 32 general purpose register. They are R0, R31 and are located in the lowest location of a memory address. So in a lowest location of a memory address there are a general purpose register, and total 32 general purpose register. All of these registers are of a 8-bit. So here we have a kinds of diagram: R0, R1, R2, R3 and up to R31, and each and every register have a total 8-bit. Okay, so this is our general purpose registers, this R0 to R31. This R0 to R31 can be used for different arithmetic and logical operations by means of AVR. Then next, in a AVR there is a status register. So the AVR has a flag register to indicate arithmetic conditions such as a carry bits or different kinds of bits like other microprocessor. So this AVR has a flag register to indicate the status of AVR microcontroller. So the flag register in the AVR is called the status register. The status register is an 8-bit register in a AVR. So here we have a different kinds of flags in a AVR status register. So this status register is basically of a 8-bit. So here we have a different bit, that is D0, D1, D2, D3, D4, D5, D6 and D7. Now all these bits are dedicated to one particular flag. All these bits are basically dedicated to particular bits. So this D0 is dedicated for C, D1 is dedicated for Z, then D2 is dedicated for N, then V, then S, then H, T and I. Each and every flag has specific meanings, and at a specific conditions any of the flags is equals to 1, otherwise it will be 0. This C, that means carry flag, Z, that means 0 flag, N, that means negative flag, V, that means overflow flag, then S, that means sign flag, H, that means half carry flag, then T for temporary bit and I for interrupt. So this all are the different flags which indicates the status of microcontroller. So let's discuss when these bits or when these flags are enabled and when these flags are disabled. So here we have a first AVR status bit. So the bit C, Z, N, Y, S, H all are conditional flag, meaning that they indicate the some condition that result after an instruction is executed. So the C carry flag is set whenever there is a carry out from D7 bit. This flag is affected after 8-bit addition or subtraction. This C is basically a carry flag which is set whenever there is a carry out from the D7 bit. So this flag bit is affected after 8-bit addition or subtraction. Then there is a 0 flag. This 0 zero flags enabled when we have all the result in a register is equals to 0. This zero flags is enabled when the result is 0, and if the result is non-zero then z is equals to 0. Okay, for a entire result in a register is equals to 0, so z is equals to 1, otherwise it will be 0. Then next there is a n, that is negative flag. So the negative flag reflects the result of an arithmetic operation. If the D7 bit of the result is 0, then n is equals to 0. D7 bit is equals to 0, that means number is positive, and for a positive numbers we have a negative flag is equals to 0. And if D7 bit is equals to 1, that means the result is negative. So this n is equals to 1 whenever we have a negative result occur. And how we can identify that this result is negative? From D7 bit. Okay. Then next there is a overflow flag. So this overflow flag is set whenever the result of sign number operation is too large. For example, in a multiplications or in some kind of operations, if we have a large result, so there is some bits are missing in a result because it cannot store all the bits. That's why here this overflow flag is set whenever there is a too large result occur after arithmetic and logical operations. Then next here status register bit is as this sign flag is basically result of exclusive OR of AND and V. If we take XOR of AND and V, then we can calculate sign flag. Sign flag is basically to show either result is positive or to result is negative. Then here we have a next bit, that is half carry flag. Now this half carry flag is occurred when we have a carry. Okay. Now what is half carry? So we have a total 8 bit. If after 4 bit, if after addition of a 4 bit, if there is a carry and this carry is forwarded to the 5th bit, then this half carry bit is equals to 1, otherwise it will be 0. So if there is a carry from D3 to D4 during addition or subtraction operation, this bit is equals to 1, otherwise it is clear. This all are the basically useful flag registers. And next this T is basically a bit copy bits. Okay, so whenever we want to copy the bit, so we can enable this T flag in a register. And for interrupt, if we want to interrupt any other device, or says if microcontroller is basically interrupted, it allows the interruptions, then we have to make this I bit is equals to 1, otherwise this I bit is equals to 0. Whenever this I is equals to 0, that means microcontroller cannot allow other peripherals to interrupt. When I is equals to 1, that means interrupt enable, so other device can interrupt microcontroller. So this all are the status register bits. Thank you.